Welcome to the One Verse Devotional Podcast. My name is Matt McCarrick, and my goal is to help you grow closer to God through one verse every day. Now let's dive in.
Hey everyone, welcome once again to the One Verse Devotional Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me here today as we dive into just one verse to grow a little bit deeper in our faith. Hey, this is Matt, and I am glad that you are with me. And we have some cool verses, some amazing verses out of the book of Isaiah for the next couple of days. Our one verse today comes out of Isaiah 43, verse 19, and it says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." This is a beautiful verse filled with hope. I love this verse. There's so many different things that we can pull out of this verse. There's so many different directions we can go. It says, "See, I am doing a new thing." Just a few days ago, as we're going through our live Bible study of the Gospel of Mark over on my YouTube channel, I invite you to join us every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern, or you can go and watch the replays. But just a few days ago, Jesus said and had the passage about that you can't put old wine into new wineskins, that you have to put new wine into new wineskins. Jesus said that he was coming to do a new thing. But I love that this is in the Old Testament. Our verse today is out of Isaiah, the Old Testament prophet. See, so many times we get this idea that just because God has been around forever, literally, and the Bible has been around for thousands and thousands of years, and that we follow Jesus who lived 2,000 years ago, we get this idea that God and following after him is almost this like old, antiquated way of thinking and living. And honestly, nothing could be more from the truth. We see in the Old Testament, God says, "Look, see, I am doing a new thing." Then we get to the Gospels and we find where Jesus says, "Hey, I am doing a new thing." Things are changing. Things are moving. We see change and new things happening throughout all of the Bible. And it hasn't changed even for us today. God is constantly doing a new thing in our lives. We don't follow this old, antiquated religion. We are followers of Jesus, which is a life-giving, daily, growing relationship. God says, "I am doing a new thing. It is springing up. Don't you perceive it?" I think that's a call to all of us, that God is constantly doing new things. He is constantly changing. And so if we don't perceive something new happening in our lives, a new way that God is working in our lives, I think this is a challenge in this verse for us to take a step back, slow down, maybe get quiet a little bit, spend some extra time with God, because we know that he doesn't speak in the thunderstorm. He doesn't speak in the fierce wind and the hurricane. No, God speaks to us in that still, small voice. And so if you're not perceiving this new thing that God is doing in your life, maybe take a step back, slow down, quiet down, get into God's word, get into some extra time in prayer, and see what he wants to tell you. Then he moves on to the next part. "I am making a way in the wilderness." I don't know about you, but 2020 has felt like one giant wilderness. Matter of fact, we say that like these are uncharted waters, right? This is an uncharted path with this novel virus. Novel means fresh and new. This is a way that we've never experienced before. We've never experienced anything like this in our lives. And it's felt like a wilderness. It has felt like a wasteland. Just go to the grocery store. Trust me, it feels like a wasteland, right? But God says, "I am making a way in the wilderness. I am giving you streams in the wasteland." that no matter how fearful this time is, or anxious, or frustrating, and now we're to the point where it's just kind of like, we're over it, let's move on, let's get back on with our lives, all those emotions, from fear and anxiety to frustration and anger to just, apathy starts to set in, saying, I don't even care anymore, I just want to get back to my old life, right? We deal with all that anger and frustration and anxiety and worry, and it makes this wilderness, this wasteland in our lives and in our spirits. And God says, I am making a way in the wilderness, and I am providing streams in the wasteland. Stay close to God. He is giving us his mercy, his grace, and his love through this time. So I encourage you, 2 different ways today. 1, God is all about new things. This isn't some old religion, old way, antiquated ways of thinking. That's not true about the Christian life at all. God is about new things and new ways and doing new things in our lives. Do you perceive it? If not, grow close to God, spend some time with him, and ask him, God, what new thing are you doing in my life? And then next, if you feel like this is a wilderness, if you feel like you're going through the wasteland, lean into your relationship with God. He is providing a way, and he's making streams. He is our support, and he is our provision. I hope that gives you some hope today. I love this verse. Have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. And don't forget, join us over on YouTube/Phosphorus Project to join us for our daily Bible study going through the Gospel of Mark. I'd love to see you there live in the chat. Come, stop in, say hi, ask questions. It's a great time. You won't regret it. Have a great day. Peace.